Hello, and welcome to my Resident Evil Revelations Extensive Raid Mode Guide Part 3. This will focus purely on speedrunning, my favorite activity in this game. The comprehensive versus the fast edition. When I started this video, I had no idea how it go and was gonna end. Since part 3 kept expanding and kept getting longer, bigger and bigger, I decided to make two versions of part 3 of this video guide series. Version 1 is very comprehensive and very detailed, where I talk, explain, and sometimes go on a little ramble about a lot of different relevant topics and how I experience them. This version I highly recommend if you want to know the most. If you have a question, it's most likely answered by this version. But I can understand from a new perspective watching a video that's will probably be 3+ hours long. I don't know right now at the time of this recording, but it will be. That it can be daunting. So I decided to make a version 2, which is a faster edition, which will only cover the must-to-know stuff without rambling on too much. I hope this will make going into speedrunning even more accessible. If you got questions after seeing this version, the chances are pretty big that it's answered in the comprehensive edition. A short recap of part 1. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend you do, even if you have a Gluttony 5 already. Part 1 focuses on getting through Chasm, Trench and Abyss, and how to get the most powerful custom parts in the entire game, called Gluttony 5. I give some useful information to take into account so you understand my reasoning behind doing the things the way I do. Part 1 is a lot of information to take in and less video footage of me playing the game. About 1 hour is explanation and about 45 minutes is gameplay. A short recap of part 2. Part 2 explains how to utilize that Gluttony 5 and what custom parts you want to grind and what your weapon progression is so that you can efficiently yet casually grind the Ghost Ship Chaos. About 55% of that video contains 6 example runs that cover every perspective from the common farming rounds in Ghost Ship Chaos. So don't let the long length scare you. This will be about the same in this part of the video. It also includes the big important to know tricks for Ghost Ship farming, but won't go too deeply into the behavior of the enemies like I will here in part 3. I highly recommend you watch part 2 as well if you haven't already. What will part 3 of my guide cover? This part will be focusing on speedrunning. This will cover almost everything you need to know about speedrunning and how to get into speedrunning. I'll be talking about the state of speedrunning in Revelations 1 with a big focus on the PlayStation 4 because that's my main platform, or the PlayStation 5 of course. Different factors that will change your endgame time. I will mainly talk about the mechanics and what makes a time good and what makes a time bad depending on different situation. Discuss each weapon and their usefulness in the endgame meta. The difference between casual grinding, which was mainly covered in part 2, and high-end speedrunning, which I will mainly talk about. And I will show live commentary runs and a very comprehensive spliced run to show a perfect run, literally putting every second under a microscope. This may not be in order, be sure to check the timestamps in the description for a accurate order. Some numbers and must-watch parts of this video. If the long length is daunting for you, because this is the last clip I record, I know it's 4 hours long, just keep these numbers in mind. Minutes of actually information dumps through my PowerPoint is 80 minutes, which is 33% of the video. Minutes of analyzing my speedruns in total is 68 minutes, 35 minutes for host, and 33 minutes for a guest, which is 28.3%. Minutes of example runs with live commentary is 92 minutes divided over 8 different runs, plus my 2 analysis runs, which is 38.3%. Then there are 4 sections here that I noted that are an absolute must watch. You cannot skip these. The rest of my guide is also very relevant. I'll probably later think, oh, god damn it, I forgot some. But these parts you must absolutely never ever skip. Don't you dare. The first one is discussion 6, important factors to receive good times. This is important to understand. Then the second with the timestamps is weapon finder discussion, because that's a famous theme to talk about. And if you don't have a serpent, how can you simulate the feel of a serpent? I think this one is interesting for a lot of people. I even do math. Then 48 minutes to 57 seconds is the weapon setup for all the different kinds of magnums, shotgun and machine gun. And then of course my Quint/host analysis, which is 35 minutes, and my Raymond analysis, which is 33 minutes. So, and then some example runs, but be sure to check these timestamps. Good luck. What categories can you speedrun? This guide will mainly focus on Ghost Ship Chaos speedrunning. I will go very in depth about 7 weapon case speedrunning. But this is just one of the many different categories you can do. Other categories include, but are not limited to, no weapon case speedrunning through the bridge, no weapon case speedrunning through promenade, so in these runs you just try to kill Ghost Norman as fast as you can, 9 weapon case speedrunning, 7 weapon case speedrunning, Trinity speedruns with no weapon finders, or Trinity speedruns with weapon finders. This can both be played in solo and co-op, and this only covers Ghost Ship Chaos. So Ghost Ship Chaos has a lot of replayability, and it touches the top of the iceberg when it comes to speedrunning. It's just amazing. Okay, a quick note here. If you are not interested in speedrunning, I still really recommend watching this. A lot of tricks are not that hard to be utilized in casual runs. You will become a better player watching this video, even if you don't care about fast times. At least watch for a few example runs and pick up the strategies I use there. Please, if you find people interested in speedrunning, send them to this video. Having more players is always a good thing. You can always message me on PSN or leave a comment on this video. My name on PlayStation is Chesley1K. Playlists and links for all Ghost Ship speedrun categories that interest me will be found in the description with links on playlists. In the description you can find multiple YouTube playlists I made. Be sure to go to my own channel where I categorize, these playlists. 7 weapon case speedruns will be the main focus of this guide, since it has a very good starting point into speedrunning. This is because you'll be getting more legendary weapons while you improve. But if you're interested in other categories, be sure to check out the description. Because for some reason I cannot get video timestamps to work, so the description has to do. Thank you. The discussions I want to talk about. Like, one part of my guide will cover a lot of gameplay and analysis, but there is information that you have to know about that doesn't really concern the gameplay itself, but more the mechanics and knowledge of the community behind the speedrunning. So I'll try to categorize them that it's easy to follow, but please forgive me if you have to use the timestamps in the description. This will include the following. What do I mean when I say speedrunning? Because everyone has a different definition to it. What times can you expect compared to, casual playing? What are the version differences between the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch? The next one is assumptions I will be making during this guide. Mainly some stuff I explained and went in depth to in part 1 and 2. How serious or laid back are you about speedrunning? Pattern A versus B for speedrunning, what are the differences? The next one is speedrunning versus grinding weapon cases an hour. Different factors to receiving fast times, this is pretty important. The current state of speedrunning in this game, again mainly focusing on the PlayStation. And then a weapon finder discussion, and how to simulate a serpent if you don't have one. It's pretty interesting watch, be sure to watch that. And then finally I'll go over the difference in the magnums real quick. Alright, let's go into the version differences between the PlayStation 4/5, Xbox One, and the Switch. Nintendo Switch, of course. The difference between the PlayStation 4 and Xbox should be absolutely none. If there are, I wouldn't know, because I don't really play on the Xbox One. I tried it, but my controller broke, so I don't want to buy a new controller because I never use it anyway. But they are both powerful systems who can run this old game easily. But forgive me if there are differences, I can't really tell. The Nintendo Switch version pretty much runs on 0.9 times speed, or at least it feels like that. It is 99% the same as speedrunning on the PS4 Xbox. At the start there is a small difference in making the fatty disappear in the elevator, and the casino becomes a little more difficult to kill perfectly. But the deck is slightly easier because it feels like you are playing in slow motion. This is pretty much the only difference that concerns speedrunning. And oh yeah, it has no voice chat, but just remember, if you are on the Switch, you have to keep in mind that it adds between 15 and 20 seconds to a run. So the Switch should be seen as a different category when it comes to time. What do I mean when I say speedrunning? What times can you expect? Everyone has a different meaning and definition when it comes to speedrunning. When I use this word, I refer to going as fast as I can. Since I've been doing it so long, my goal is to break world records. But in this guide, I will use the word speedrunning for improving your times and giving up unnecessary time waste. This is not a casual run. If you can save 10 seconds by doing a harder strategy, you will do that harder strategy. That's why it's called speedrunning. I've seen people claim, oh, let's speedrun, which for them meant a 7 weapon case round without getting hit or a time below 11 minutes. Yeah, 11 minutes is not exactly fast when it comes to 7 weapon case speedrunning. Again, some people will call 11 minutes a speedrun. I personally don't. If you follow my tips from part 2 of my guide, you can expect, when you really went into it, time of 8:40-ish, maybe if you push it 8:30, but beyond that point you won't really get further unless you start speedrunning. With speedrunning 7 weapon cases, the world record for example is 7:24 with using 9 weapon finders, so no damage parts. On average, high-end speedrunners in the right circumstances, which I will go into later, they get consistent 740s, 730s, 750s. But this depends on different factors, mainly the country where you live in, and you need good latency and Wi-Fi. More on this later. Okay, my first discussion is assumptions I will make during this guide. I will assume you have watched part 1 and 2, or especially the tips and tricks given. I'll assume you have an understanding of the information given there. In short, I expect that you have basic knowledge. If you don't, I recommend going to part 1 and 2. You have at least two times stars 2 and 1 times BSAA 2. This is the minimum requirement for the best weapon customization when it comes to 7 weapon case speedrunning. You can complete Ghost Ship Chaos with the tricks I included in part 1 and 2. The shotgun trick to kill the Dragon Nazi in Observatory instantly, although we will be utilizing it slightly different. The shotgun trick on the Normans, the pause trick on deck, and again, a small reminder, put your aiming speed on very fast. For speedrunning, this is pretty important. This will increase your speed. I highly recommend it. You will have the following weapons: a fresh, not upgraded 6-slot Python, or an upgraded 33 capacity Python as a plus. If you have a Serpent, use that of course. If you only have a 9 capacity, use that temporarily until you get a new Python. A 6-slot Windham Sonic Assist lightweight, or an M3 will also do, but a Windham is better in my opinion. A 7-slot machine gun. I personally don't recommend a high roller. I'll go into this later. Or the legendary variants of the shotgun and the magnum, of course. I'll assume you like speedrunning and improving your times. This is not casual farming like part 2. It requires a different mindset, and because you're playing with 33 capacity, it plays differently. But still, again, a lot of tricks are pretty easy to implement in your casual runs. So, yeah. The second discussion, how serious or laid back are you about speedrunning? I'm aware I'm giving my personal experience and opinions here, but I mentioned multiple times that speedrunning lies very close to my heart. I am very passionate about speedrunning. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played it over 4,000 hours. I consider myself an absolute tryhard. I've come at a point where I really don't give a fuck anymore about weapon cases. I have 5 purple serpents, 3 purple sledgehammers, a purple thunder raptor, 2 grim reapers, 3 sledgehammers. I have the most important weapons I want. Of course, there are still weapons I want for niche situations. So my focus is on getting good times. Most speedruns are done in pattern A. More about this in a bit about why that is. There are times where I play solo and reach deck 2 times in 2 hours because I make mistakes. This also happens in co-op sometimes. I've seen people who are happy when they get certain times and don't seek more improvement. They use speedrunning methods but leave some of the tryhard methods out. Instead of getting 740s, they will get maybe 755 or 805. This is totally okay, but I'd rather try hard and get that 740. What I'm trying to say here is that this guide will go very try hard in details and specifics. But if you're like, okay, I just want the big important trick so that I can improve my time from 9 minutes to 8 minutes 10, good, perfect, even better. Feel free to use and ignore what you want. So you really don't have to listen to me to every word, because I'll be going to very specifics. I have years of experience, so also don't expect that everything will come in this first try. Discussion tree. Pattern A versus B. In part 2 I went into the differences, and I also showed you different casual runs in both A and B. But the short answer is that A is superior to B for pretty much all speedrun routes in Ghost Ship Chaos. So that will mean this guide will be 99% about Pattern A. I may or may not show 1 or 2 Pattern B run videos. I don't know that yet as the making of this particular recording. If you go to the description, you may or may not find it there. A is the norm in speedrunning. A lot of speedrunners intentionally reset if they get pattern B. A has been analyzed so meticulously that we know the inside outs of every room, enemy spawns. The main reason is the kitchen. In A, these spawns are set, which means they always spawn the same way in the same location at the same time. And in B, they are variable, which means it's totally random and you can't really predict it. I never got deeply into B speedrunning. I am more specialized in A, but I may give, big important tricks for B because it is about the same, but just requires different positioning and certain different tricks. Discussion 4. Speedrunning versus grinding weapon cases in an hour. I've mentioned in my previous parts of my video series that speedrunning is basically faster weapon farming. This is only half of the truth. If you don't reset for pattern A and both to A and B with speedrunning strategies, then yes, then it's more weapon cases an hour, since you literally just play faster and more efficient. But if you're a tryhard like me and want to get really good in A, you reset the run whenever you get B. Or a step further, reset when you fuck up. Although I don't recommend this unless you're more experienced. This would be considered less weapon cases an hour. Some high-level speedrunners do this, like the world record holders, me, or someone who wants to get better. I also do this when I have the right partner with me, as long as you have fun, right? So I really recommend, if you're just into speedrunning and you ended up with, for example, you message me and I end up with you, I can only highly recommend just even temporarily reset for A. If you fuck up, okay, just keep going. It's a teaching for teaching purposes, but really reset for A. Focus on A until you got that one done pretty well, and then B will be much easier to learn. Otherwise, you will have the spawns of A in mind, and when you do B, you constantly have to change your mindset. So a big recommendation, when you're initially learning how to speedrun, play on A, reset for A. Good luck. Discussion 5. The 33 capacity magnum and its usage. You will be using preferably a 33 slot capacity SERPENT or Python, and even 35 capacity as a guest. Most players are scary that they will run out of ammunition. It's true that you need a decent partner to not run out of ammunition. If you are with another speedrunner, this will not be a problem. Trust me, I've done over 1,000 runs. You will not run out of ammunition, even if that player is from the other side of the world. You even have enough ammo to play with faster casual players. But if you play with newbies, then you won't have enough with your you won't have enough ammo with 33 capacity. Being host and playing as Quint is much easier on ammo than guest. So if you are with a casual friend who knows what they're doing, but still want to run with a 33 capacity or some speedrun strategies practice, ask to be host. Good luck. Discussion 6. Important factors to receiving fast times, which are mainly out of our control. This is a very important discussion. Be sure to listen into this one. There are three very important factors to receiving insanely fast speedrun times, including 724 and shit like that. One is the Wi-Fi connection. Better internet connection means less lag, which is good. This is the one that can or cannot be out of your control depending on your situation. The second one is luck, depending on the day. Some days I can't even reach 8 minutes 10 seconds with a speedrun partner, And the other day, I get 750 like it is no problem at all with the same player. This can be very annoying, but nothing you can do about it. It's just a bit up to luck. Now, the most important factor is the country or continent you live in, the latency in short. When you play with someone from your own country or continent, it's not exactly 100% confirmed, but you have significantly less lag, faster spawns, and faster times. When you play with someone from another continent, you have most of the time, more lag, slower spawns, and more crashes. An example, I'm from Europe, and with an European player, I get 7 minutes 40 easily. With the Japanese, who are considered the dominant people in speedrunning, a lot of times I can't even reach below 8 minutes. But if the other two factors, which is Wi-Fi and luck, in the previous slide are good, I can even manage a 750 sometimes with the Japanese. It really is a combination of these three factors that we can't really control, but the continent you live in for sure is the biggest factor. At least we think it's the continent. I've played with people from Spain, which is also Europe, but further away from me. Perfect connection. I have someone who lives in Malaysia, I think, or Vietnam. No, in Malaysia, close to Japan. And when he plays with Japanese people, he gets a lot of lag and not very good times. So this is just the assumption I make based on my experience. It could be different, but I see it as very unlikely. Discussion 7. The current state of speedrunning in this game. I am in a pretty unique position to talk about speedrunning and the current state of speedrunning in this game. I'll be going into that in a bit. As mentioned earlier, speedrunning is a niche activity in the multiplayer mode of a game that originally released on the 3DS, on all other platforms, and is not crossplay with the other platforms. Most players aren't simply into speedrunning, and again, that's totally okay, but that really sucks for me. I will go on a bit on a rant. Just know that I'm not trying to bash anyone or insult anyone. In the next few minutes, I'll be a bit of complaining about the lack of players and try to explain my struggles with speedrunning in this game, because I also have to address the not so fun stuff, which is the low player base. So the biggest pain struggle is finding the speedrun partners. Let me explain. It's ported on all systems and is not crossplay, so I am limited to the PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever you have, which is by far the most active community. Switch has no voice chat, but still a few speedrunners. Fun fact, some high-end PlayStation 4 speedrunners also have a Switch, because, you know, Japan. The Xbox is absolutely abandoned. I'll be surprised if you can even manage to find one. This is mainly because the Xbox is super small in Japan. So if you have an Xbox, I feel for your brother, but again, you can still improve. A lot of players just want a platinum trophy or orange name and abuse my knowledge and my time to receive that and then just disappear. This, I don't have to tell you that after a few times I get really worked up about it. The first time, alright. Second time, okay. But the third time, you're getting on my nerves. And after years of playing, I'm kind of done with it. So yeah, it's annoying. A lot of players have their chat disabled or ignore me or don't want to play co-op. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. A lot of players speak no English, especially in Europe and Asia. There are many Brazilian players, Portuguese, Spanish, but they don't speak English well enough to communicate. So it's just very hard to reach players even. And most players simply aren't interested. So even there are so many players with great potential. Chris, looking at you again. Even the players with great potential, but just don't care. Let's assume that I found a random English speaking player who is interested in speedrunning. There are more factors to consider. As I said the previous three, the latency, Wi-Fi luck, location. The chances of them being from your continent/country is small. Well, it can literally save up to 25 seconds, if not more. So I really pray if you manage to find someone interested in speedrunning that is from the same continent as you. After spending 10 plus hours teaching them the ins and outs of speedrunning, they're great, everything is going well, they just abandon me. This happened multiple times before, over and over. It's very frustrating because I put my time into teaching them, and all my years I have only found 2 to 4 long-term English-speaking speedrun partners. But again, a big reason for this is the lack of guides and other people to teach you how it all works. I hope this guide will hopefully counter this problem and will save me some time in the end, because now if a speedrunner or a new speedrunner wants to speedrun, I just show them to this video and they can pretty much learn on their own. And if they really want to stick around, they will stick around, and not because I didn't have time to play with them to teach them. Just to give you an example on how small the community is here, estimated high-end speedrunner player base in Europe, I'm not kidding, 3, let me explain. This contains mainly me being the most active by far, and it's not even a competition. There is only one French player who speaks English, Eurasian, who we'll be seeing later in this video. Great guy, love him. But this one guy is Spanish and does not speak a single word of English, and is casual most of the time, which makes speedrunning at a high level, getting world record times, really, 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 really difficult for me. There were others who were very fast, but either quit or gave up. Yes, you read it right, only 3 speedrunners who are high-level speedrunners in Europe long term. Over the years, there have been a few who were very active for a few weeks, but they just ended up abandoning the game, which is unfortunate. Or they went back to casual. We need more players. There has been great potential over the years. With one player, for example, I got 750 within 3 days. This was an improvement of over 40 seconds for him. But he just left after 3 weeks, a month. I understand not everyone is addicted to a super niche game like me. I know I'm the exception of the exception of the exception, but still, I'm still salty about it sometimes. This is just one of the most extreme examples I had. I hope I'm making this video with video footage to get more people into speedrunning, because teaching them with random videos takes a lot of work. I have seen so many people from France and Germany, but they do speak very broken English or no English at all. And it's just so sad for me. If there were more and active European speedrunners, I would have beaten my personal bests already. I really hope this guide finds new players, because now the only partner that I can really play with for world records is Eurasian, and he barely plays anymore. Not that I'm blaming him, like everyone gets burned out on the game, but yeah, it's just frustrating. If you have, the tickles to start speedrunning, and you have Stars 2 and a Python and so on, and you play in the PlayStation, message me. Don't be afraid that you're not good enough. You are. I really love teaching players who stick around at least to speedrun. Do not be afraid to message me. I cannot stress this enough. So, estimated high-end speedrunner player base in North America, which is the USA and Canada, 3. Yes, I'm not kidding. Again, 3. But the potential is quite more. I can't really put a number on that. My estimation would be 3 high-level speedrunners, with one only really being active. One dude is from Canada who randomly joined me and I got a 751 with him first try. I've never really seen him after, so he's not really active. The other one is one of my best friends online, Philly's Flooring. You'll see him all the time in my videos. I somehow managed to get a 743 with him, which is insane for not living in the same continent. I'm 99% certain that is an international world record we broke there. 99% sure of that, but no proof. I don't think I will ever match that time again with him because it's just so insane, because we live in different continents. That time is insane, man. If that was EU/EU, that would probably be 728 or very close to the record. It was a great run. And there is another guy who knows his stuff, but was never really a try-hard, so he was more a casual speedrunner, as I mentioned earlier in my guide. There are a handful of North American players who have the potential to become great speedrunners, but they either don't know how to become speedrunners, or I haven't discovered them yet, or they are satisfied with playing casually. Poking at you here, Chris, yet again. Feel free to message me, North America. I really don't mind that you're from a different continent. I love speedrunning nonetheless. So even if you're from a different continent in Europe, please don't let that stop you. If you speak English and can converse in English, I will gladly help you. Estimated high-end speedrunner player base in Japan, at least 25. Do you know the saying, there is always an Asian somewhere better than you in anything you do? This is the perfect example of it. Resident Evil is huge in Japan. And this is where 99% of the speedrunners are. If I had to estimate, there would be around at least 25 plus high-end speedrunners. Yes, that is 99% of the freaking player base. It's kind of nuts. At any time period of the year, there are a handful of active Japanese speedrunners. They really dominate the speedrun scene. Right now, I'd say there are about 5 to 6 very active, and I see them online daily like me. I would even go so far to say that only like 6 non-Japanese players can be considered as good as the high-end Japanese speedrunners. I'm one of them. Brag. Are you ready for a little rant on the Japanese? Let's go. So, Japanese people are dominating the speedrun scene. Since I've been around for so long, joined Japanese streams on YouTube, I didn't go unnoticed by them and befriended some of them. At this point, I played with most of the Japanese speedrunners, including almost all world record holders. They are a great bunch of people, and I can't say one bad word about them. Most are very nice. But it is very frustrating that I struggle to get below 8 minutes with the freaking world record holder who gets 730s pretty much blindfolded with other Japanese players. It's frustrating. Some days I am so done between getting 8 minutes, 8:15 seconds. Well, they just get 730s just because I live in a different country. Because I'm certain that I have the skills to reach world records. It's pretty much always been me and the Japanese. At the moment, I have two great active players. One is from North America and the other one is still learning, which is very good. I love those guys. But I can't exactly get my dopamine boost by getting extremely fast times. I can only get that with Serration, one pretty inactive European speedrunner who is a great dude, but like I have to be happy if he can play with me like once a month. So yeah, I don't blame him for it, but it's just very frustrating because I really love the game. I'm 100% confident if I had an exact clone of myself living next to me, oh bro, we would be getting some insane times, Japanese speedrunners tend to flock together, which just sucks for me because I would do the same if the roles were reversed. They usually just join my lobby if there is no one else to play with. Just because playing with someone from your own country just is more fun. You get better times, less lag. So I can't really blame him for it. And 40-second difference or up to 30-40 seconds is a lot. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk. I'm just very passionate about the game, but I also wanted to give you an honest explanation about the very niche nature of this game. Other continents aren't even worth mentioning. I think Africa has like one or two speedrunners, but again, they're barely active. But, there's a big but. There is a positive here. Once you learn how to speedrun both patterns, or at least A, you can do it with any player. Over the last year, I have studied Japanese speedrun videos and got better because of it. I have a lot of experience and understand the ins and outs if a Japanese speedrunner would come to the EU and we would play instant 740s and 730s. No problem at all. Use weapon finders in speedrunning or not? This is a discussion I want to talk about. In part 2, I already went into the discussion about weapon finders. Weapon finders are overrated and won't help you much getting better drops. In the speedrunning scene, it's more about prestige and fair competition, in my opinion. For example, the Japanese, who dominate the world records, always play with 9 weapon finders when they are doing 7 weapon case runs. If I would be farming weapons with 6 weapon finders, it would be an unfair advantage and would diminish its accomplishment if I would get better times with it. This only counts if you have a serpent, by the way. For example, one of the current world record holders uses a 5-slot serpent. If I would break the record using a 6-slot, he doesn't have that weapon, I could put one more damage part on it. It's just unfair. Even though he played 500 hours, he still doesn't have a 6-slot serpent. If you have a serpent, feel free to use 9 weapon finders. But if you are using a Python Sonic Assist Plus and using 3 weapon finders on it, I personally think you are limiting your potential, because it remains a fact that a serpent has 35% firepower over the Python Sonic Assist Plus. I personally always used 2 damage parts on my Python when I did not have a serpent yet. It pretty much simulates a serpent with 3 weapon finders. So I use weapon finders not for better drops, but for prestige and fair competing. And I think most speedrunners will understand when you don't have a serpent yet and you use a Python Sonic Assist Plus with 2 damage parts to simulate the feel of a serpent, that's totally okay. And to prove it, I did some math. Trust me, it's very short. Serpent with a 33 capacity and 3 weapon finders, fully upgraded to plus 30, has 36,786 firepower. The Python, samely upgraded, has 27,249. So to check it out, Legendary has 35% more firepower, so it checks out here, as you can see in the next line that I'm not gonna fully say. If you add a damage part, which adds 15%, you come to 31,336. At outrange 3 or distant hit 3, firepower goes up as your distance from the target exceeds 4 meters. Maximum change is 22%. So this is only when you're very far away from the enemy, plus 22%. So at maximum, it's 38,229. This is an increase of 37%. But most of the time it's under 35% damage power. So most of the time it's slightly weaker than Serpent with 3 weapon finders. But the Serpent has slightly better firing rate as well. So I think it's a good trade-off. So if you don't have a Serpent, use this setup. Distant hit 3 and damage 6. I think it really is fair to simulate the feel of a Serpent here, since Serpents are just stupidly hard to get. Again, it's up to you if you want to use it or not, but if you use 3 weapon finders with a Python, you are making it harder on yourself for no reason. Discussion 8. Magnums. I don't have a Serpent. And other magnums, of course. A argument I hear a lot is, I don't have a Serpent, I can't speedrun without it. No, that's bullshit. Serpent will not miraculously help you become better. Just watch my previous slide where I do the math. There are 3 things that decide you how fast you will be. One is, yes, the weapon setup and understanding the setup, but a Python Sonic Assist Plus is more than enough, unless you're really going for world records. 2 is the connection with your partner and the country where you live in. And 3 is the biggest difference with the casual runs is the knowledge of spawns. Knowledge of spawns is your biggest friend and can really improve your time significantly. Again, if you won the world record, then yeah, sure, you would need a Serpent. But a Python Sonic Assist Plus, I consider the number 2 or the number 3 best speedrun weapon in the entire game, depending on the arguments you make. To prove it, I will include a run with a Python Sonic Assist, simulating the Serpent, just to show you that it's not really that big of a difference compared to using Serpent with 3 weapon finders. I cannot stress this enough. You do not need a Serpent for high level speedrunning. Let me repeat again. Serpent is not needed for high level speedrunning. There is one more custom part I want to talk about. I really didn't talk about it in part 1 or 2 because it's too specific. This custom part does the following. Your partner's defense and attack power will go up 16% if they are within 5 meters of you. We are very interested in that firepower boost. This will help you in very niche situations, mainly as guest in casino, the observatory, and deck for players if you both have it equipped on your magnum, and the fishes on deck in the end. The only way I know how to get them is the weapon, like the green weapon you can buy with the BW medic weapon. It's like 350,000. I'm not sure if there are other ways of receiving them, but just go in and out of the store and you will eventually find one of those medic weapons. Okay, the weapon setup. I touched upon this earlier a bit, but let's go into it more. Let's go into the 3 different magnums. So first, the Python and the Serpent. The big difference between casual magnum setup and speedrun setup is the capacity. We will be using a 33 capacity magnum as host, and when you're guessed, you can use either 33 or 35. This will significantly speed up your gameplay. Once you have a better understanding of how enemies work and their spawn locations, together with your positioning, you can kill multiple enemies within one shot. It may take a while to get adjusted to, but with aiming speed on very fast, you will be pro in no time. So I went more in depth about this in part 2, but here are the different setups I recommend. So on the left you can see here the Python simulating a serpent. The second one is a serpent with 3 weapon finders, stars 2, full burst and gluttony 5. And the serpent, if you want to go with damage parts, use a damage tree, a distant hit tree, and a partner support. If you are with Quint, only with Quint as host, you could replace distant hit tree with giant rabbit foot tree. But as host, go with distant hit, because that is without a shadow of a doubt the best one to go with. The Grim Reaper. Again, I want to stress Python is the best speedrunning weapon out of the 3. But let's say you get a Grim Reaper very early. You can either make it between 9 and 11 capacity and use it for trinities and or casual farming. Or, what I did, put 5 times firing rate on it and the remaining on capacity. This should get you to 31 capacity. The recoil is more noticeable, but it is an alternative to the Serpent or Python. The customization is pretty much exactly the same. If you want damage parts, just use damage 6, distant hit 3, or giant rabbit foot and partner support. Please don't be an idiot like me. I accidentally upgraded 2 times firepower and realized it when it was too late. So it's still usable, but I really hate myself for this one. It was pretty early on. If you're going for full capacity, make it 31. I also have a 9-shot, which I'm using for just casual and trinities. So it's up to you what you do with it. The Magnum, the Thunder Raptor. So again, Python is the best speedrun weapon, but let's say you get a Thunder Raptor early. You can make it between, again, 9 and 11 capacity and use it for trinities and or casual farming. Or you put it on 5 times firing rate and try out different capacities. I personally only got one Thunder Raptor a few weeks ago after years of playing. Currently mine is 9 capacity, but I have the possibility to go higher than that for a very niche use. If you really want to know, Duo, Ghost Ship, Chaos Trinity bonus speedruns where I'm playing with Quint as host. It's a very niche use because I don't do casual speedrunning, casual farming anymore. If you want to try different capacities, I think just upgrade the firing rate and the capacity, but leave upgrades available. As you can see, mine is plus 22. I can go to 17 if I want to. So originally I would say try something like 23, test it out. Do you want to go higher? Just put more capacity on it. These are not easy to come by, so if you fully put it on capacity, I think it should be around 32. But I think the fast firing rate is just too much for 32. Again, I don't know, I never tested it, but the slower firing rate on the Python and the Grim Reaper really helps manage the ammo usage. And I think with the Thunder Raptor you could have a hard time, but again, I don't know, I haven't tested it myself. I think this would be the weakest for SERPENT weapon case speedrunning, so I personally don't recommend the Thunder Raptor in this specific scenario. The L-Hawk is straight out too weak. Honestly, don't bother with the L-Hawk. The shotgun. Shotgun is identical to the endgame setup I talked about in part 2. The trick in Observatory, although slightly altered, and both Normans still apply here. Solo, a Cerberus or a Hydra is also a good alternative, but only solo. The reasons you know, because go up only the trick works with an M3 or a Windham or a Sledgehammer or a Raider. A note, some speedrunners opt to go with a Windham lightweight or an M3 lightweight, which makes it easier to run around in some situations because you don't have to swap out weapons. For example, Zorasian, the other European speedrunner, does it. I personally don't like this because it makes killing the swordfish guy in bridge harder who drops the weapon case. I have a 24 capacity sledgehammer. Keep in mind 20 is enough. I just use 24 as personal preference. Most use 20, so between 20 and 24 is fine. If you have a Raider, make it 21. 15 is not enough. Weapon setup, the machine gun. The customization of the machine gun is also identical to the setup I talked about in part 2. But there is a little discussion to be had about what machine gun is the best. So grenade launcher's shooting speed depends on the firing rate of the weapon it's on. So for example, if it's on a shotgun, it would shoot slightly slower than if it's on a P90 machine gun that has 30 firing rate. This is why I suggest using an MP5 machine gun. This has 30 firing rate, more firepower than a P90, and 7 slots, which we want for 7 weapon cases. We really want to utilize all the 7 weapon slots here. This is why I'm personally not a fan of the high rollers. A lot of people seem to use them, but they personally, this is personal, they slow me down significantly when I'm using my grenade launchers, because they have slower firing rate. When you're go up, use a partner support 3, if solo, a ammo drop rate 7. As I said in part 2, firing upgrades aren't always visible, so still always upgrade firing rate 5 times. In other speedrun categories, the G36 in particular is useful, but since it has 6 slots, we don't use it in 7 weapon case speedrunning. So here are 2 screenshots of the possible customization options. A quick tip here, put your weapons in this order. This way, each time you start a farming round or a speedrun, you will have your lightweight machine gun equipped automatically, and you don't have to switch each time you start a round. I discovered this like 800 hours in, and for 800 hours I had to swap to the machine gun each time. So I personally have the magnum in the middle and the shotgun on the right, but you can swap these two if that works better for you. But I personally have it like this, and this works the best for me. Okay, a last discussion about your country continent. I touched upon this subject a few times now, but I really can't explain with words how much of a difference it makes to play with speedrunners with a good connection or with a bad connection. I'm probably the most experienced speedrunner in handling the issues that are connected with this problem. It requires a slightly different mindset with a bad connection than it is with a good connection. You really have to experience it before you can really understand what I'm trying to say here. It's like playing with 1.1 times speed, but it also feels much more smooth. For example, after you finish the bridge, the host has to open the door. In European speedruns, the door opens instantly, but when you're playing with bad connection, it sometimes takes like 2 seconds to open the door. Like, I'm not a professional editor, so I am definitely gonna miss nuances in playing between with Europeans or with other continents. Just keep that in mind. It really will be noticeable, and with experience you really can tell the difference. Because I have such a hard time finding EU speedrunners, this luckily enough really benefits me because I understand the mechanics of the game very well. But on the other side, for this specific guide, it makes finding perfect footage a pain in the ass. So for this guide, I may have to use examples where I play with partners with a bad connection. Luckily, I had a great run as host which we'll be analyzing a bit with Serration, which I still had saved up. So thank God for that. It's hard to say when a run is good and when a run is bad. With some players, I consider 755 almost legendary, and with others, 755 is utter trash. So this is why you could get better times with partners who aren't that experienced yet. A general goal most go for if you're playing with another continent is below 8 minutes. If you are playing with someone from your same continent, a general goal most people go for is under 740. Characters to use as host. You probably know this by now since I mentioned this multiple times. Quint 1. This is because of its huge grenade blast range, 230%, and the shotgun mastery and grenade mastery. CC mastery is a nice bonus, I guess. We'll be abusing this grenade range to save time, mainly at the start of the run and deck. So if you find people with high play count when doing custom search, be sure to join them. The chances of them being a speedrunner is high. So I found 4 examples here that I just copied and pasted here. Philly's Flooring, for example, I really want to find that guy. HK Drivable Plea is also, see, a yellow name. Don't let it scare you. He is a very good Japanese player. Otaku Scary, one of my new students that is still learning. 65 hours played, and yet already very good. And then the white name, this Adol, he was a troll. He was not good at all. He doesn't even have Abyss completed. He just did the speedrun route I referenced to in my guide, but he didn't watch my guide. I'm sure of that. So proof that I'm not selling you lies. The character is to use as guest, Raymondo. This because he is male. It's not because I hate females, but they just run faster in this game. He has magnum abilities, and in my personal humble opinion, also feels more stable when you walk around and want to shoot with it compared to Lady Hunk. So Lady Hunk is used for casuals, not in speedrunning. Again, if you want to use Lady Hunk in speedrunning, do it with casual speedrunners, but I personally don't like it because I'm a tryhard. If you're playing casual and you're a speedrunner and someone as Raymond joins you with a lot of play count, the chances are significantly bigger that he's a speedrunner. So then I would recommend changing back to Quint. Good luck. Time to have a talk about the host versus the guest. What are the differences? The route the host and guest takes are mostly set in stone for 7 weapon case speedrunning. This is because of Quint's grenade range and the power host of the lobby has. Let me explain. The host of the lobby usually has priority over the guest. When you start a run and you both run to the door, if you want to enter the door at the same time, the host will always open the door first. When you run past an exploding ooze, which I call a blob, as guest, it will explode on you and will hit your back. But if you're a host, you won't be hit. Great, isn't it? You can test it out and I will showcase it to you later. Host versus guest. Which should I learn first? I really recommend learning the host first, the Quint route. This is easier to learn if you're not that experienced yet for the following reasons. You don't have to kill the casino, which is considered the hardest room to do perfect. And for newcomers, they really struggle with it, even experienced players. You will have more ammo to work with. The guest kills the kitchen and meets up at the casino. After a casino is done and you're starting observatory, you will be at a comfortable maxed out ammo, and Raymond will be between 420 and 500 ammunition. So yeah, easier on your ammunition. At the end of, I said this already, in observatory, I personally think you have easier spawns compared to guest. And the kitchen is also easier than the casino as well. Although the bridge is slightly more challenging. I will go into that later once the analysis run starts. And the second half of deck is also not that easy. The host versus guest, who kills what? So the host, the Quint, always kitchen, mainly because you can run past blobs without exploding. And guest, Raymond, is always casino. Again, in casual runs you do what you want, but speedrunning it's set. Whoever is host does the kitchen. Do you want to do casino? Ask your partner to swap, or leave the lobby and find a different speedrun partner. That's just how it is. For rooms you kill together, which is most like the observatory, bridge, and the deck, and the first room, you pretty much split up the room. Each player is assigned their own enemy to kill. So when you switch from guest to host, you're literally killing the other half of the kills. It really changes up the grind. I have not created these strategies. I am basing this off of observing the Japanese world records and ton of experiences. For example, I mentioned earlier, once a Canadian player joined me, never saw the guy, never met him. We did we split up the room like I learned in the Japanese videos, and the first time I got 751 with the guy, which is fast. If you learn the killing I do in these videos, you can play with all Japanese speedrunners. They will know these spawns as well. So once you learn, you can play with everyone, not just with me. Nice, right? Set rooms versus variable rooms. There are two different kinds of rooms in the Go JAP Chaos. Set rooms are rooms where enemies always spawn at the same time, in the same location, the same way, in the same order. For now, I'll mention only the rooms relevant in 7-case runs. Set rooms include everything up to kitchen, in A only, and the deck. Variable rooms are rooms where enemies will spawn randomly. They will spawn in the same location, but in a random order. This is the casino, observatory, and the bridge. But in these 3 rooms, we found structure and order in the chaos by knowing where the enemies will spawn. Your positioning can manipulate its randomness in spawning. So it's not totally random anymore, but if the game wants to fuck you over, it can still just go fuck all and still spawn randomly. How do you find speedrun partners? First of all, again, if you're on PlayStation, you can message me. If you're on Xbox, yeah, try to use like those community groups, but you'll be having a hard time, sorry. And the Switch, just pray that some pros make a lobby. Sometimes you will see them when you do custom search. Make a lobby as host, make a lobby wanted pros and be Quint. This shows that you want experienced people in the room. Then you wait and every few minutes check for an open lobby. Just chill watching some Netflix. Guest, same thing. Just check open lobbies with custom search and join the most noteworthy one. If you find new speedrun partners and they are interested in speedrunning, send them to this video. Let's make the community larger, people. I really hope this video will help increase the community here. It would be a dream coming true. You're still here. Nice. Time to get into actual gameplay examples. I've been thinking of different ways to make this guide easy to follow and understand. I will be doing it the following way. I will be showing you 3 runs as host, Quint, and 3 runs showcasing Raymond and guest. And maybe if I feel like it's solo, you may or may not see this. Run 1 will be a serpent with 3 damage parts. This is because it will just be easier to showcase what you want to achieve. It's just keep in mind, I don't necessarily always use 3 damage parts. Again, go into the weapon finder discussion to know more about this. This will be a highly edited and a comprehensive analysis of every single room and kill you make. This is so that you know which enemies the host has to kill and which enemies the guest has to kill. For example, I'm already done with the host analysis. It's 35 minutes. I'm scared how long the guest analysis will be. But as when you're watching this, you will know and I will know. This will be spliced, which means it consists of different clips of different runs where it went, perfectly. This is what you want to achieve each time you speedrun, but a lot of things can go wrong. So just know this just shows off what a perfect run would look like, or an almost perfect run. The second run is a serpent with 3 weapon finders, no damage parts, uncut with live commentary, where I will explain what my mindset is during a live commentary, and if anything goes wrong, what I was thinking and how I'm trying to fix that. Run 3, same thing, but with a Python Sonic Assist with 2 damage parts to simulate the serpent I did in math earlier. Uncut with live commentary. One thing I want to mention before we start with the analysis runs. The Japanese found a new method for part 2 of the deck that is slightly faster and used in the current world records. This is the only significant time save that I didn't implement yet in my runs. Mainly because it's better pulled off with someone from your own continent and Serasian never plays anymore. What's significant? I mean 1 or 2 seconds, probably be around that. Actually, I haven't timed it yet, but it also seems quite a bit harder to do. But I just think it requires some practice. Again, I have to get into it before I can talk about it more. In the description, you will find examples of this new method, but I strongly recommend using strategies I show in this guide only, since a handful of Japanese players utilize it, even among the Japanese. The deck I will show you, the Japanese speedrunners or people who know that strategy know, only a very few know about it and will just adjust to the old methods. They can usually do both, so don't worry about that. Alright, let's go into run 1, host/Quint. As I just said, this run will be spliced, but luckily, a year ago I managed to get a 732 with Serasian using 3 damage parts. About 90% of the run went so well that it's pretty much a non-slice run, but there is things to note. This was performed a year ago, so in that time some new optimizations were discovered that were not used in this video yet. First one is partner support. You'll be seeing me using a G36 without partner support. I don't recommend that, since you'll be needing 7 slots to put everything in. Use the MP5 or P90. The fishes on deck are done by the old method. This will be shown in the analysis itself, the difference. Note for host, always use 33 capacity. The weapon setup is shown here. This is what I recommend if you wish to play with no weapon finders on your Serpent. You could replace Distant Hit 3 with Giant Rabbit Food 3 as Quint, whatever works for you. I always personally go with Distant Hit 3, but for example, my friend Philly's Flooring prefers Giant Rabbit Food 3 as host. Test what you like. Hello, it's Chesley from the future, where I completed editing this run in particular. It took me like all fucking day, I swear to God. This is a very comprehensive run with a lot of editing and repeats. I didn't expect it to be this long. It's a 35 minutes cut on a 732-minute run. I am really going in depth about my reasoning for doing things a certain way. Some may even argue I overdid it, but the first time you'll be watching this run, it may be overwhelming, but just know that this will take time before you understand everything in this particular run. I am not a professional editor and I learned along the way. I tried my best. Sorry if it's if it's a pain for the eye. Hello, welcome to Run 1 Host as Quint. I will be using no rare finders on my Magnum. I will be using 3 weapon finders. The customization will be shown in the previous slide. As I said there, this run was performed a year ago, so I'll be using a G36 and some slightly different setup. But again, use the setup in the last slide. Starting the video in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So the run will start. Because I have the lightweight in the first slot, I immediately start running. I have priority, so I will go into this first room. Okay. So, as you can see, we didn't use a magnum here. So what we want to do is, right as we enter the door, we shoot a grenade straight ahead to the wall. The blobs will explode. Then you run to pretty much in front of the door. And you can see here, you can see to your left, you can see this fence. You either just throw 2 grenades to the left, or you throw 1 grenade and finish it off with a grenade launcher to the wall. You should have 7 enemies killed. The remaining 3 will be killed by your partner. And then get ready to get through the front door. That will complete run 1. So as I said earlier, you can see this blob right here. If you are guest, you cannot run past it without getting hit in the back unless you get a very lucky run. But if you're host, with your lightweight, just run through this. Trust me. It will not explode on you, you can just keep running. Then in the next room, you will see me shoot a shock grenade on the wall there. This will stun the hunter so that you can consistently run through this room. If you don't throw it or shoot the shock grenade on the wall, sometimes the hunter will be in front of the door because depending on your positioning, the hunter will move a certain way. Your partner, as Raymond, as will be shown later, will also shoot a shock grenade on the wall. This way you can get a consistent way through the door. Okay, So now, usually in my casual run, I throw a BOW in this hole. Now, we're not gonna do that. That's for casuals. There is a slightly different way where we just run through the enemies and Raymond, the guest, will take care of it. This is here where the power of Quint takes a lot of power. So we just keep running, yeah. Then it will explode, and you just avoid it. And once you see two enemies in front of you, you just shoot a shock grenade, as will be shown here in a different run. In the original run, my muscle memory kicked in. Not really a big deal, but in the end it's faster. So you just, again, let's go over it again. You just keep running, you ignore the blob, and once you see two enemies in front of you, you grab a shock grenade, shoot it, and because of the big grenade range of Quint, this only works with Quint, it will both be shocked and you can just keep running, which is pretty nice. Then on your way to kitchen, you just skip all the enemies, and then we arrive at kitchen. So what you need to know for kitchen is in pattern A, the kitchen spawns in 4 waves of 3 enemies. So you kill 3 enemies, the next 3 will spawn. If you kill 2, the next wave won't spawn. So the first wave, you kill the first 3 enemies, then you go to the middle, turn around towards the door, and kill those 3 enemies within 1 shot, and then you go back to the door. You kill with your piercing, you know, the first 2 on the left, and then you can see a trick. So once I killed the 3rd wave, I look to my right, and once the enemies start spawning, once you see them spawning from your left eye, you can either do 2 things. You throw 2 shock grenades and then shoot off the 2 others with your 18 remaining bullets, or as I personally do it, right after killing the first stage, you immediately aim to the right, throw a BOW grenade, and then 2 shock grenades after. This pretty much times it perfectly to, you know, kill the enemy on the right. That's up to you. I personally mostly use a BOW and 2 shock grenades, but let's say you were slow or fucked up, 2 shock grenades is good enough. Okay, that's kitchen done. After that, you just run to the casino as fast as you can. So let's see. In this case, my partner killed the entire room, which is very nice. This is pretty much an unspoken rule among the speedrun community, just because it's nice, it doesn't lose any time, and it is easier to get through the ship. So since this is live commentary, I'll just wait here a bit. So as you can see, usually a fatty is there. It will not be there. My partner made it disappear. Zerasian didn't use a pulse grenade on this thing, so you can just run past it. See, again, everything is alive. We can just skip it all ahead. Nice. Okay, at this point, have a normal grenade ready. Have a normal grenade ready, just in case as backup for your partner, because the casino is very hard. He has to throw a grenade at an ooze, and sometimes if you misthrow the grenade a little bit, an ooze won't die, and you're pretty much the backup to help him. So have a normal grenade ready. Okay, we're gonna be entering the casino with normal grenades ready. Since my partner didn't fuck up, everything is dead once I arrive. As you can see, here right before, so let's have a discussion here. Right before you enter this room, you say go on ahead with in-voice commands. If you don't say this, your partner has to guess where you are. So long story short, the game originally came out on the Nintendo 3DS. And that didn't have lightweight weapons. That was introduced in the Steam version. So lightweights cause a little bit of confusion in the game. The minimap, for example, in the right upper corner cannot keep up. Okay, at this point you are waiting for the door to open. So we're gonna have to talk about the elevator here coming up next. This is about the same as saying go on ahead, but the lightweight weapon makes it very buggy sometimes. Sometimes when you run into the elevator, you notice on the minimap that your partner is far ahead or either far back from you. So you cannot close the elevator because your partner is not in, but actually in reality your partner is in the elevator. So when you see that your partner is back a lot and not in the elevator, what you do is say go on ahead. And no, it sounds weird, but you just open the elevator and keep running into the wall straight ahead. This will a lot of times help the game think that your partner is in the elevator. You just say go on ahead, and then your partner knows, okay, I have to activate the elevator. This is for both patterns the case. Sometimes the host looks far back and sometimes the guest looks far back. But this is a way to combat it. Sometimes you can lose a few seconds with it. It is what it is. Okay, we just closed the elevator. Nice. So we just keep going. We're going up. The observatory, if you don't know what you're doing, can be it can be a little bit tricky. As said before in my PowerPoint, it's a variable room. The spawns are random. It's not a set room. So as you can see here, I immediately aim at the corner, and the invisible hunter will always be there at A. You kind of have to agree between you and your partner, whoever picks up the weapon case. Since this is a year ago, I didn't pick up the weapon case, but now in the present, as host, I usually pick up the weapon case. So you pick up the weapon case, immediately turn to your right, kill the invisible hunter, and then you aim to the left. And the first 5 enemies, as you can see, 5 enemies are instantly dead. Always spawn 100%. Those spawns are set. Always the same. As you can see, I will keep aiming at the left wall. Next to the wall, I will kill 3 enemies. 1 right in front of me, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the end. And then slightly to the right is a small invisible ooze, or that is a shared enemy between me and my partner. Once we have 13 enemies, we'll go to the other side to shotgun the big beast. So let's watch. Voila, 13 dead. We go to this position, turn around, grab the shotgun, and we aim on the head here. You can immediately see me aim at one of those barriers. That is pretty much an invisible line. 1 ooze, archer ooze, will spawn out of there. Everything on the left side is for my partner, and everything on the right is for me. 5 enemies in total will spawn. 1 hunter pretty close to you, 1 ooze will come out of the ground at the pillar, and then 3 hunters in between. So let's count together here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know one more will spawn now. There it is. And I'll just go activate the elevator. Alright. Let's see that again. Okay, there is one more thing I want to talk about the observatory. As you can see, at the end, I finished slightly earlier than Zeration, and I immediately went to open the door. At the time I opened the door, Zeration was done, and we could have instantly left. This was a very good run. You can only pray that you get such good spawns and such good execution. That's not the case on every run. So the first half, you count, as host at least, you count to 4. But the 3 that you have to kill are mainly the priority. You're pretty much the backup of the 4th one, that is the shared responsibility. And then you do the shotgun trick, and then you count to 5, as I explained earlier. But there is a big but. The order in which enemies spawn in part 2, which is after killing the big thing, I will refer it as part 2. Sometimes your 5 enemies will spawn within seconds. What that means, my partner will spawn later. So there can only be so much enemies in the room at the same time. That's all up to luck. Sometimes my enemies spawn very early and I'm pretty much done. And sometimes I have to wait like a few seconds before my first enemy pops up. If you have a good connection Europe/Europe, the spawns will be significantly faster. Most of the time, example in this case, when I was done, he only needed 1 more enemy, which is perfect. So I went straight to the elevator. But if, let's say, your enemies spawn within seconds and your partner still needs to kill 5 enemies, yeah, of course, then you can just put an extra burst and try to kill the left side where your partner is. This will help you out, but you have to estimate a bit, like, is it worth it to help or not? This can save up to 2-3 seconds, because let's say you just started a burst for a last enemy and you're both finishing a 33 capacity burst, yeah, and then opening the elevator. It can cost you a few seconds, so definitely keep that in mind. Be sure to do the counting game. In Raymond, his perspective is the same thing, same strategy, but just different positioning and counting. Good luck. Okay, once we done the observatory, we just make our way to the bridge. There isn't really anything noteworthy at the start. I'll just speed up ahead this part. But going through the cabins, it can be interesting. So here at this first door here, when your connection is good, usually when you play with someone from your own continent, in this case I play with Zeration, Europe/Europe, perfect. You can see me just ignoring that hunter there and go straight for the door. But when the connection isn't that great or the Wi-Fi is just bad, that hunter will hit your partner, but in this case it won't. So when you go to my YouTube channel and just look up live videos, a lot of times I use a shock grenade there. So just try it out once or twice, and if it keeps hitting your partner, use a shock grenade there. You can kill the blobs, but not needed. And then the next door, you can see me go to the left and use a pulse grenade there. This is mainly because you don't conflict with your partner, because your partner, whoever enters the door first, goes to the left, and whoever enters the door second always goes to the right. So that you're not blocking each other pretty much. So it's also a little bit easier to walk around and less turning. So I go to the left here, use a pulse grenade, and then again a pulse grenade. Okay. And then the final door here is also interesting. You have to get a feeling for this. So in this example, I just ignore the dog and we just continue. That is because he was very close to me. He was caught up to me. This way he can reach the elevator in time without the dog interfering. But if he was a little further away, I had to throw a BOW grenade, otherwise the dog would hit him or would come in the elevator. You kind of have to get a feeling for it when you cannot do that. It's pretty hard to explain. Alright, we are in the elevator on our way to bridge. So, as again, the host opens door quicker, so the host goes first. We just go, usually when you both move, Quint will always use the door first. Bridge as Quint is one of the harder things to get perfect. This is because it is not a set room, so the bridge spawns randomly, but especially the position of the host can really influence the spawns most of the time. So literally one step more to the right or 2 steps more to the right and enemies will behave and spawn differently. So as a newcomer, this may seem a little ridiculous on how I'm gonna explain the bridge, but just know that it's for a reason. So okay, let's just watch a full bridge first and look at my positioning. I'm doing everything for a reason here. That was almost a perfect bridge. And to be totally fair, you won't get that each time. The bridge is kind of annoying. So okay, well, let's analyze this because there is a lot to it. Okay, so you enter the door. One enemy will be in front of you and one to the right in the corner. Those two are set, so you will always do this as Quint. Then, watch my positioning. I barely moved from that door. Do not go to the right yet. Stay at the door. I kill the third enemy here, and you can see me aim to the left. That small fucker is what people struggle with. That small ooze. If you stay close to the door, that small ooze will spawn early way more. For example, right now I have a friend, Otso, great guy, I love you man if you see this video, but he doesn't know that yet, so he usually goes to the right more, and that will cause the small ooze to spawn at the end about 80% of the time. This way, if you stand in this position, that ooze will spawn early like it's supposed to, 80-90% of the time. That is the only enemy you kill on the left side, on that side of the ship. The other enemies on the left side are ignored. This because you have to go to the deck, so you kill all the enemies on the other side. Those can be left alive. That small ooze is the only one. Okay, let's continue. So 4 are dead. Then you can see me going to the right more. Yeah, I kill the big swordfish dude and then the one to the left. Sometimes these two enemies spawn in a different order, but still same thing. So that's in total, let me count, 6 enemies killed, yeah? At this point, 3 enemies will spawn right in front of me and 3 enemies behind the fence. Those 6 are your responsibility, ignore the rest. And for the final 3, you can see me delay my shot a little bit, because this is always something you have to consider. Especially when you play with good connection, these enemies will come out relatively quick, as in this video. Sometimes they all spawn at the same time, sometimes they spawn one by one, but if your connection is not that good, sometimes the enemies will be delayed, and you have to use 2 shots to finish off the last enemy. So you see me wait here a little bit and I start shooting. Yeah. Watch my position here. I'll stay around here. I turn around, grab my shotgun and shoot this fucker. Even preferably, stand a little more close to the left. This way you can really shoot the swordfish well. So whoever goes in this elevator first activates the elevator. That's just how it is. So once we go up, I usually enter the door first. Walking. So now we arrive at deck. Again, each one has an assigned enemy to kill. So the host always goes to the right and the guest always goes to the left. So you see me getting here to the right, and right before the black screen I grab my magnum. I shoot the swordfish on the ground, the hunter and the other hunter, and then I grab my machine gun, or my shotgun, excuse me, and shotgun together with my partner, the strong swordfish. Then you see me use the pause trick and throw a POW grenade. As long as one of you throws it, it's enough. In this case, we both threw them, no problem. but sometimes you miss a shot or you're a bit slower and only your partner manages to throw a BOW grenade, that's fine. Just throw it around the middle and it completes the shot. Wave 3. You can see me running next to the first fatty and shoot with my grenade launcher on the strong fatty. Do not, I repeat, do not throw it. You have to shoot it at the strong fatty to stun it immediately. And then you can see I aim on the head. In this run I am using full damage parts, so we can kill it pretty easily. But with 9 weapon finders, it can only be one shot like this if you shoot it with a pulse grenade with your grenade launcher. If you throw it, the pulse will, I don't know why, negate some damage and you will need 2 shots. So, very important. Shoot with your grenade launcher and then finish it off. Okay. Right before the black screen I used a pause trick and you can see me looking back at that location. That's for a specific reason. So, what I do is I throw a BOW grenade near that small ooze. Try to do it on his left side, but for Quint, for host, it's not that precise. Just throw a small BOW near that small ooze. In the guest, I will explain why that is, but in short, without that, it won't die instantly. Then you can see me run here, grab my shotgun, and right before it fully spawned, I start shooting with my shotgun. Once it fully spawned, you can see it will transport a little to the left. So slightly aim to the left of the head, start shooting, and then it will pretty much transport to you. Right after you killed it, you can see here on the enemy counter that it's 17. Sometimes when the small ooze doesn't die, it's 16, so always watch your enemy counter here very closely. Then immediately do the pause trick and throw a shock grenade or 2 or even 3 right there. Then shoot the 2 oozes at the same time and finish off the fish. Good. Now, only recently, like a month ago, making this video, I changed up this wave a little bit. You only take care of the invisible hunters here as host. Ignore the dogs that will be taken care of by the guest. Ignore the dogs. Ignore the dogs. So then, you just line up, use your piercing to try to shoot both Rachels. When you're fully damaged, you can kill it within 1 shot. If you're with 3 weapon finders, you're gonna need 2 shots. Grab your shotgun and kill the bitch. The final thing I want to talk about in this run is the coin trick. So as you can see, after throwing the shock grenades, you just instantly start spamming X or A or whatever the right button is on your console, and as Quint you will instantly hit the coin. As I said before, Raymond hits the coin slightly faster. But for the first coin, this is only for the first coin by the way, if you hit it pretty much at the same time, then the game, I don't know, glitches out and will go to the next wave 1 second early. So this is the reason why we try to shoot it at, hit it at the same time. So as you can see, look very closely. I spam as fast as I can, and Zerasian, my partner, hits the coin slightly later. Again, this is much easier to pull off if you have a good connection, Europe. The timing is a little bit different if you play with people from other continents. For example, here is an example where my partner was a little off because he's from America, for example. This will take a little longer. Here is a side-to-side to prove my point. The host gets the weapon cases. This is because Raymond hits the coin slightly faster than Quint. Hello, welcome to showcase run number 1, where I will be using 3 weapon finders on my Serpent. This is my weapon setup as usual. My partner, Count Frog, great guy, he is from Japan, so that means that the connection may be weird at times. We average, depending on between 7 minutes 55 seconds up until 8 minutes 15 seconds, depending on how bad the connection is. I'm showing you this just to see, so you can see the difference between, you know, playing with someone close to you and someone far away. So as I go through it, I will assume you watch the analysis of my 732 video. I will refer to that a lot. Let's be weer gezet. Dus geef dat stukje gewoon zo snel, dan gaan we zien hoe het steeds wordt. I will assume that you have watched my Quint analysis video. There, voila. It exploded, perfect, nice. I have getting my shock grenade ready. Throw it on the wall, or shoot it on the wall. Okay, I run past this blob here. Once I see 2 enemies in front of me, I shoot a shock grenade. BOW ready, or if you can time the kitchen perfectly, you do shock grenades. But I do a BOW grenade and 2 shock grenades. So 1, 2, 3, first wave done, perfect. 1, 2, 3, second wave done, perfect. 1, 2, 3, perfect. Perfect. As you can see, my partner killed this room, as is social etiquette. Very nice. See, he did not use the pulse grenade on the ooze, but doesn't matter. We just continue. So if everything goes well, I can run past this. Sometimes it will try to hit you, so I always have a normal grenade ready just in case. But in this example, I can just go straight ahead. Okay, 11, 12. So this will spawn. Voila, I helped him there. There. And something activated. A small little thing you can do here, this is absolutely not required. Lower your capacity to like between 6 and 9. Which will make the first shot slightly easier. But again, this is just a small optimization, you don't have to do this. So, in this example, I ran into the wall because I saw on the minimap that my partner was behind more, that he was lagging behind, which means the lightweight buck is showing up again. So I said, go on ahead, kept running into a wall. And at that moment he know, okay, I have to activate the elevator. Okay, I grabbed the weapon case. Oh no, my partner does. My partner does. There it is. Voila. So let's count here. 1 of mine, 2, 3, and now 1 here in the middle, and I'm done. Oh, spawned a bit late. Oh well. Here the last cushion, I turn around. Nice. So let's count 1. Invisible line, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, I was done a little later, but so we were at the elevator at the same time. If he or I would have been done like slightly faster, we would have saved like 1-2 seconds. But for now, this is actually a solid run, like technically. Like the strategy, the positioning is great so far. I swear to you, this is my first try doing a 9-weapon finder showcase with the Serpent, and it's going this well. So. Okay, here I know my connection with Canfrog isn't always optimal, so I'll just, well, I was supposed to shoot a shock grenade on that hunter and not stun myself, but oh well, what you gonna do? I'm first through the door, so I go to the left. Here. How close is he to me? He is close enough, we can ignore the dog. You have to get a feeling for it, eventually you know. See, he also runs into this corner. This way the dog will jump the corner instead of the partner. So that's a small thing you can also do, as I explained in my analysis. The bridge. I grab my magnum. Yeah. Yep. So these two, these spawned early, so I just kill it real quick. Then back to my positioning here. 1, 2, 3. Now I have to kill the tree in the corner there. 1, 2, 3. There. See, I didn't go too far down, because if you shoot from this positioning, it's much harder. Nice. I say go on ahead, so we can go instantly. Very good. Very solid run so far. No big mistakes are made. Okay, I go to the right because I'm host. 1, 2, 3. Shotgun the one in the middle. POW. I shoot a pulse grenade with my grenade launcher. I do not throw it. And I aim at the hat. Ooh. Now I get ready to throw a POW near. Then go into positioning. Nice. I'm doing the boss trick without even thinking about it, so... Ah, damn it. Almost. Ah. Use piercing power here. Nice. Okay, so standing around in the middle, then aim at, you know, the end of the H, throw 1, turn around and shoot 2. 1, 1, 2, stand X. There we go. He hit coin slightly later to do the coin trick, or at least he tried, and it worked. So he is Raymond, so he will grab the coin. I will just grab the weapon case here. This is like an average run for our connection or playstyle. So let's see what the time is. 8 minutes 20. Yeah, this is a perfect example. Like our execution, our positioning was honestly very good. For example, the showcases with Raymond was played with Serration, which was European. And honestly, we didn't do things much differently. Maybe a few more errors here and there. But as you can see, it can be a difference of over 20 seconds. I guarantee you, if this was Serration, it would have been under 7 minutes guaranteed. So it's not that Count Frog or I'm just playing bad, it's just the connection and the latency between different continents. So this is a perfect example of this. But this run still shows off very well what to do. The time can just depend a lot on who you're playing with. Hello, welcome to showcase run number 2. I'm going to be using my Python Sonic Assist with distance 3 and damage 6 to simulate a serpent, or the feel of a serpent, sledgehammer, and an MP5 lightweight with partner support as usual. My partner is using a 3-weapon finder serpent because he doesn't have a Python anymore. Again, my partner is from Japan, so yeah. Yeah, he got hit by the blob here. That's gonna happen a lot to you as a Raymond, so trust me, it will. Shock grenade on the wall. I keep running. First wave done, to the middle for the second wave. Yeah, back to the door. Oh. Once you see enemies spawning, you can throw two BOWs, two shock grenades. Oops, I missed it. Will also happen, the last shot in kitchen is not the easiest shot to pull off. So for the last shot, yeah, be sure to, oh, I got one there. Be sure to use 33 capacity. If you use 35, 14 ammunition is not enough to pull off the last shot in kitchen, so this is why I really recommend making your first Serpent. You get 33, because it can both be used in Raymond and Quint. 35 is just slightly better than Raymond. Fatty is gone. You can just run past this guy. In case it will hit me, it won't. Again, sometimes it may grab you. Okay, 10, 11. Well, this can happen. I'm gonna leave it in. So what I do here, I help this. This is common occurrence in the casino, so I'm just gonna keep this in. Don't think that Count Frog is a bad player or anything, it's just that casino is that precise to pull off. So yeah, about half of the time you will get casinos like these, unless you're playing with the best in the world who can pull it off most of the time. See, look, he's outside of the elevator here. It looks like he's on the ground. I couldn't activate the elevator if I wanted to. That's again why I run into the wall and say go on ahead. Okay, let's start counting. The 5 are dead. That's his. 1, 2, 3, and now the strong one right in front of me. I help Frog for the last shot. There we go. Ready to shotgun. Well, it didn't die. You just grab your magnum. 1, 2, 3. So 2 more. I actually lost count this one. 4, 5. There it is. I'll just help him with his last shot. There we go. Again, at this point I made the calculation, is it worth it to help him with one more shot or just go to the elevator? So I just made the split decision to help him, but if you wouldn't and just ran to the elevator, would have been fine as well. So this run actually shows a more realistic farming round in speedrunning. The other runs I showed off are mainly very good runs because it went very well, or optimized runs. So when you just started practicing, expect a lot of mistakes to be made, which is totally fine. There. There we go. So I threw a POW here because he was a certain distance away from me. So to be sure, I threw a POW there. The bridge, pulse grenade ready. One, two, three. The small fucker is dead, so I can move to this side. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So now I have to time 1, 2. Come on, spawn. Thank you. See, I'm standing here, not here. If you should use shotgun from here, again, the chances are much bigger that it won't die within one shot. Say go on ahead. My voices are in Japanese, but just say go on ahead, so your partner knows you can activate the elevator. Partner will be lowering my ammunition, or his ammunition. Deck. POW, yeah. Pause trick and then throw the shock grenades. There it is. So here, yeah, I aimed at like the pole there. 1. Oh, damn it. See, it's almost identical to a three weapon finder serpent. I honestly can't really tell the difference. I really can barely tell the difference. There it is. So again, where the coin would be, then aim at the end of the H, throw 1 shock grenade, 1, 2, well, that happens sometimes. He didn't wait, he did well. You will sometimes be stunned, nothing you can do about it. He is Raymond, he hit the coin first, so he will hit the coin, I will grab the weapon cases. Oh. So he's the backup for that weapon case. Oof. We got him, lucky. So let's see the time. See, 8:19. For example, the run with 3 weapon finders on my serpent. For me personally, that run I found a lot smoother than this one, but that was a slower time. So sometimes you get runs where you have the feeling, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good time, and it's shit. And other times like this run, it was still a good run, but I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, and it's better than you expect. It's actually pretty funny. But yeah, I hope this showcase shows that a Python Sonic Assist Plus is as strong as a serpent. You do not need a serpent to get super good times. To get a world record, yes, but overall it's not needed. I'd say good luck, my lads. Good luck. I will be playing with this weapon setup. 3 damage parts on my serpent, and let me change that weapon real quick. 20 shot is also fine. Quint analysis. The first room. What you do is you enter the door, as learned in the Quint analysis, they will kill the first few enemies. The blob will spawn in your face. So what I do is, once I enter the room, I just touch my stick slightly back, so that I move a mini step back. The blob will explode in your face, but you can cancel that damage out by shooting a normal grenade once you see the blob explode. So once you see the blob explode, you use your normal grenade with your grenade launcher, and that will cancel out the damage. Then you want to swap as fast as you can to a serpent or your magnum, and then shoot the 3 enemies in front of you. As you can see in this video, once you kill those 3, the rest should be dead. Quint with his grenades takes out the remaining 7. But as a backup, if Quint throws a wrong grenade or anything goes wrong, after killing those 3, that's priority, then you aim to the left to kill the remaining two enemies. That's the way you go about it. Okay, after the first room, I get a shock grenade ready, because we will shoot it on this wall right here. Then usually this is my own, I have a pulse grenade ready. I know the small hunter will be there, so I do grab my shotgun. Then equip my lightweight again, throw the pulse there, or shoot the pulse there, and kill the remaining here. Okay, through this door, what we want to do is, the hunter and the big ooze, will always be on the right. So what I do, I immediately aim to the left, shoot and try to kill those 2. Then I aim to the left to kill, you know, the ooze that will show its head above the boxes or whatever that is. Then I use my remaining 14 or 18 ammunition. But if you missed an enemy, don't waste your time on it and just move on back to the elevator. Once you go back through the door, and you went through the door and you can start moving, as long as your partner doesn't have 27 enemies killed yet, if you killed all 3 in the previous room, you will be in time for the elevator. Because you want to be in an elevator the moment the kitchen is completed. The extra room we're killing here is basically like an unwritten rule, so that your partner can easily run to the elevator. So again, just use your 2 extra shots so that your magnum ammo is pretty much 0 without the gluttony 5, and then move on. Now, when you run back, and when you killed all the enemies, like in this example, you say thank you in the in-game voice command. I have the voices on Japanese right now, but just know if you killed everything, you say thank you, so that your partner knows once he's done in the kitchen, oh, I can just go ahead. But when I say wait, or as he says it, mate, he knows that there will be at least 1 enemy alive. And usually I do, if there are all 3 enemies alive, I say wait 2 times. This is like something I picked up, what only Japanese do, so it's just a nice communication between the 2. Okay, so once you're in the elevator, what I do is get my BOW grenades ready, grab my machine gun. I aim at the corner of the elevator, like you can see here. And once you can hear the fatty growl, the fat ooze, from that point you just throw a BOW near the corner of that elevator. And then I get a pulse grenade ready. This way the fatty will walk into the elevator, and once you Once your partner uses the elevator, the fatty will basically disappear from the game, or will be stuck in the elevator once you spawn upstairs, but my partner can just run past him instead of having to dodge him all the time. It's like a nice quality of life update. Then you see that I use a pulse grenade on that ooze. That's just also out of habit. This way your partner can walk in a straight line, but as you can see in the Quint analysis, my partner didn't use that pulse grenade on the ooze and I could still walk past it. So this is just like a very small quality of life, but it's not a big deal if you don't do it. Then you walk to the casino, just skip all the enemies as I do here. Alright, let's watch the casino once fully. Alright. The casino is without a shadow of a doubt one of the hardest rooms to learn. Most players struggle with the casino, and for good reason. It's a non-set room, it's a variable room, so the enemies spawn differently, but your positioning can influence the way enemies spawn. And so does Quint, but if they follow my Quint analysis, everything should be as I am gonna explain right now. Even a few steps off or just bad luck can change this room. Sometimes the enemies just spawn slower or do a different order. Sometimes it's out of our control, but 9 out of 10 times it's because your positioning is wrong, or your partner is way too slow in some areas, and then for that reason the enemies will behave differently. Okay, so before you enter the casino, have normal grenades ready. We are going to utilize them throughout the casino. Okay, so you enter. We're going to go in slow motion here. What I do is shoot the one in front of me, then aim to the right, kill that one, and then the one at the top of the stairs. It is your goal pretty much to do that in one shot, and then kill the fourth one, of course, with your second burst. That is what you want to achieve. Kill those 4 within those 2 bursts. Within the first burst you can shoot the first 3, but if you kill the first 2 and then with your second shot the next 2, it's almost no time loss. Then you run downstairs, run until you're on the floor next to the ooze like in this video. Do not stay upstairs or the spawns will be different. So really follow my position here. This is pretty important. So follow the way I position myself. 4 enemies dead. Then you kill, the one in front of you, the small ooze on the right side of the fountain and the left side of the fountain. I'm killing 3 in one shot now, but that last one, a lot of times you won't be able to. This is mainly because in this example the enemies came out pretty fast, because again I'm playing with someone from Europe. And then I kill off the 8th enemy like that. Okay, now you can see me throw a normal grenade over to that spot and then shoot the fatty on the right close to the door and the stairs. This is something that people will struggle with. So once you kill that enemy, you pretty much have to wait a bit. Then you throw the normal grenade, and it should die if you aim pretty much between the two riding elevators. You know, the two handholds. You try to aim about there. But if you throw too early, the grenade won't have any effect. And if you throw too late, sometimes the enemy doesn't die fully, or you throw it a little too much to the left or right and the grenade will not explode. It can be pretty annoying, but anyway, so I throw the grenade and I immediately shoot my magnum instantly to kill the ooze on the right. Then this shot, after 10 enemies are dead, is the hardest shot personally. You kill the one, you know, on the left, and then you try to kill the fatty on the right. Now you can see that it's only a small gap to kill the fatty, and sometimes when you hit it at the wrong place, it will go backwards too soon. So, for example, in my streams I also struggle with this a lot. But let's say it has a few health left, just immediately shoot one burst after and position yourself to the way I am now. So what goes on in my mind at this moment is, so okay, I killed the fatty, I immediately go to the other side, turn around, and I know that small fucker will be there. I 100% know, so I immediately throw my grenade there. Like, you don't have to aim exactly at the ooze, but if you're too far away, it will not fully die with your grenade. This is the reason why as Quint, you have a normal grenade ready when you enter a casino. Let's say it doesn't die, he enters the casino and can see, oh, that small archer ooze has still some health left, I'll use a grenade to finish it off. So you shoot a grenade on that thing, or throw, excuse me, and then here, for example, distant hit 3 helps a lot because it's a big distance, and then you try to kill the fatty from around this position. When I'm with 33 and the spawns are good and fast, I just immediately shoot after. First the small ooze and then the big fatty. That's usually more than enough, you know. It takes long enough to shoot 35 ammos to kill them both. But again, with sometimes it will spawn slower, then I wait just a tiny bit before shooting. All enemies are dead at this point, ignore the fish. And you will see that I close the door when he says go on ahead. So again, my voices are in Japanese, but they say go on ahead, or go, or move. But from the minimap, it shows that he is still not in. This is why we say that, because a lightweight weapon, I explained it earlier in the guides. It was originally released on the 3DS. Then lightweight didn't exist yet. Then on the new versions, lightweight weapons came out, and that causes the game just to act weird with light weapons at times. You can do stuff you can't do without, for example, the deck glitch. So this is why Quint says go on ahead, and then Raymond can just immediately close the door the moment you're in the casino. Good luck.
先行してください。悪いな。ありがとう。行け。
Okay, the observatory as Raymond. So let's just watch a full run first. This is pretty similar to the analysis of the Quint POV from the analysis, but pretty much let's go over it. So you run to the weapon case, Raymond picks up the weapon case while Quint is shooting the invisible hunter. You turn around, of course, and kill. You can immediately see the 5 that always spawn and are set in stone. I got killed. Good. Then you see this pillar right here. Just pretty much walk up to it. We are gonna kill the enemies that we did not kill as Quint, and we do that by counting. So let's kill the enemies here and then we kill together. Let's count. 1. So this one I have to talk about, this invisible hunter. You will hear like a spawning, growling hunter. When you hear that growling spawning sound, you know the invisible hunter will be to the right of you. He will spawn very close to you. Sometimes he spawns at the end, sometimes he spawns at the beginning. In this case, he spawned early, which is good. So that's 1 killed. 2, 3, 4. The common enemy that we both have to kill, the archer that spawns out of the ground, or the hunter I mean, Serration killed. So that was easy. 13 enemies dead. Then we go to the same positioning and we grab our shotgun and we shotgun the head. Alright, once the big shitter dies, we pretty much do the same as Quint, but just for different enemies. So watch where this first hunter spawns. So you can see it's between 2 pillars, just to say. The pillar on the right here, I will show it on the screen. On that position, 2 enemies will come out. Then where the hunter is, 2 small hunters will spawn, so that one and other one in a bit. And on the pillar to the left, around there, 1 strong invisible hunter will spawn, and the last enemy will spawn to your left, will be an ooze that will come out of the ground. So let's count. Invisible this small hunter right here, 1. 2 is this ooze here. It's good if he spawns early. Second ooze just came out of the ground. And 1 hunter on the right pillar right there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. walking through the lower and upper cabin, the lower cabins is pretty much the same. I'll just go fast track it. But here, the last door, here with the door again. I was close enough to Zeration, so he opens the door and activates the elevator. And you can see me going to the right here and walking into the corner. This is like a small backup for the dog. If the dog targets you, it will try to jump you, but because it's on you and you're in the corner, it will pretty much jump in the corner itself instead of the elevator. So this is a small, tip you can do. Okay, now the bridge coming up. Quint kills the one in front of on the right as usual. We run and aim at downstairs. That small ooze will always be there. After killing that small ooze, you position yourself near the computer, and then you kill that big ooze that almost killed us. Then you aim at the strong one there, that's 2. Because I didn't see 2 enemies spawn yet, I'm helping here for like 1 burst, and then we count 1 big ooze and 1 small ooze. That's in total 5 already. So the one downstairs, the one that almost hit us, then the big ooze that spawned close to the computer, and these 2. So remember, those are your enemies to kill. You can see 13 enemies are dead at this point. That is because Zeration, my partner, is still killing the strong swordfish guy in the corner. You can see me here shooting the small ooze on the left of the stairs. Technically that is a enemy of Quint to kill, not for Raymond. So you have to prioritize the 3 that spawn downstairs here. Those are your enemies to kill, but I killed that small ooze, or shot that small ooze on the left of the stairs, because otherwise it would have hit me. And then from that positioning, from the stairs, you grab your shotgun and you just kill it with 1 shot. Then one note about this door. When you're with someone from your own continent, that door will open very fast, and your partner has to say go on ahead when you activate the elevator. But when you're with someone from other continents and the connection is a little bit slower, the door may be delayed and not opened instantly. So just keep that in mind. It can be pretty annoying, but you get used to it. Alright, let's just watch a full deck first without commentary.
考えるな、感じろ。完璧だ。
Okay, you're at the start of deck. Partner goes to the right, and this time we are going to the left. So we aim, kill the 2 enemies on the left, and then because you lowered your magnum, it's easier to shoot and finish it off with a shotgun. If you don't, you will kill it with your magnum, but it is just slightly so faster to do it with your shotgun. Then you pause and throw a POW grenade. This will kill the 2 blobs in the middle. If you're too slow or you miss an enemy and only your partner or you throws 1 POW grenade, that is enough. It will get the job done. But just both try to do it, so yeah, it's that easy. And then you kill the 2 on the left, and that is the end of wave 2. For wave 3, again, it is important that Quint, especially if you're with 3 weapon finders and no damage boosters, that Quint shoots a pulse grenade with his grenade launcher, and you just pretty much focus that they're both dead and aim at the head. The first one is weak as fuck, and the second one should be dead if you aim at the head. Okay. Now a trick comes up, and again in the Quint analysis I explained that you have to throw a POW near the small, the small Dragonasi. Now I'm gonna go into it why. Once it's spawned, what I do is I throw a POW grenade on the left side, on the left, the left, I'm gonna say it again, the left side of the small fucker. Why the left? Because it will hit the head more, which is good. Partner does it as well, and he gets ready to do his stuff. And then I wait, and once I see the big Dragonasi on the right to me start to get up with his body, I throw 2 normal grenades. Again, on the left side, because this will hit the head more. And then, if you do it correctly, you should die. At the last moment, you see me aim up a little. Make sure you aim up high enough. Of course, not too high, but if you aim too low, the trick will not work. So 2 things are important with this trick. 1, your partner has to throw a POW grenade. You have to throw a POW grenade. 2 normal grenades, but the 2 normal grenades have to be aimed high enough, but of course not too high. You have to practice it pretty much. Then you grab your magnum, and then you just shoot at the head, instantly shoot at the head. And if the small fucker has like 2 HP left, you try to shoot it with your remaining capacity. Then, once it's dead, you immediately do the pause trick, like twice, and just instantly try to aim just left of the container on the ground. That's what you do here. So this took me some practice to get right, but it is worth it, because you can see once the next wave starts, I immediately kill the beach fish that spawns there. So what you want to achieve pretty much is that with that burst you kill that fish, and then you kill the 2 remaining the ooze and the other beach fish. Then you do the pause trick again, grab a shock grenade, and just throw it in that general direction. Here 3 dogs will spawn. You just shoot them like 1 millisecond, and then you aim to the right. And the thing is, focus on the dogs. The dogs are your priority. Ignore that hunter. Pretty much that's for Quint. You're the backup for that specific hunter, the strong one. But if Quint doesn't touch the dogs, the dog will always be in that position. That is the reason why Quint cannot touch that dog, otherwise you have to guess where it will be. So you just finish off that dog, and if you have some capacity left, and from that burst, you can try to hit that one hunter. So as you can see, we can pretty much kill all waves so far within one burst. Then the two Rachels. What I do is aim at the legs of the strong ooze behind her, behind the small Rachel. The small Rachel is easy as fuck. So you just use your piercing power to kill them both at the same time. Depending on your positioning and angle, it will die in one shot, and sometimes it doesn't. So just try to kill it within one shot, and then if your partner isn't completing it with their two Rachels, you just help them out as well. And then you go use the shotgun on the Norman, if it dies within one shot or not. Then you see the H, right? You can see the yellow H. I'm standing on one end of the H on the left down corner, from my perspective at least. Then at the middle line of the H, I aim just slightly to the left of the yellow line where they, you know, make a 90% corner. And because of the partner support we equip here, we can kill the fishes instantly by just throwing two shock grenades. Just throw two while aiming at that position. Yeah, and then you see me move to the right and in front to hit the coin. That's pretty much what you do each time as Raymond. So again, the coin trick I explained more in depth is also prevalent here. So from that position, Quint just spams X or A or whatever the button is on your console. And right after he did, you have to time the coin hit correctly to save that 1 second time. Otherwise, yeah, you just hit it, or if you get stunned, Raymond just instantly can hit it. Then you grab the two weapon cases. Once the black screen, you just shot Ghost Norman again, and you hit the second coin because you hit the coin faster than Quint. And as backup, you grab the weapon case in front of you. That should be it. Good luck. Observation, and I will be doing a run with 9 weapon finders, both of us. If you have a 33 Serpent, don't worry, it's as good as 35. The 35 just helps just that tiny bit in Casino, but it's almost negligible. So again, if you have 33, just use a 33, it will do. Okay, it instantly exploded, good. See, I only killed those 3. I didn't even have to be backup because he threw the grenades to the left. Shock grenade ready because I want to put it on the wall. Yeah, good. Shotgun, I know it will be there. Ooh, yeah, I almost missed that shot. I usually do a pulse grenade here, but you can also do a shock grenade. Well, it's been a habit of mine to do shocks, so just kill those 2 there. Don't even think about it and shoot the last. At this point, 27. I'm beyond the door already, so I will be in time for the elevator. This is like pretty much, and this is a very good downstairs. Yeah, and he made the shot, the last shot in the kitchen, good. I aim at the corner, and once I hear the fatty growl, I'll throw it in the corner. Good. So I should have pulse grenade in this one, but like you saw in the analysis in Quint, Serration doesn't do that. It's totally fine, it's just a habit I have. I personally prefer to do it, but you don't have to do that. I don't want to put too much focus on the small details, but the small details matter sometimes, but not necessarily for that one. So normal grenades ready, because we're going to use them in the casino. Casino started. 1, 2, 3, nice. Ooh, that was a great start. 1, 2, 3, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. I can throw immediately because that went good. Now the hardest shot in the casino. Nice. 12 dead. I turn around. Nice. And I just immediately shoot again. That was a very nice casino. Now I'll wait for the command. Good. That was very good so far. So my ammo is 425. Again, this is an example why I recommend Quint first, because they will be at 700. It's just easier if you're still learning. And if you watch my analysis of Quint and did a lot of Quint already, getting into Raymond will be easier because you already have a lot of knowledge about the spawns. So yeah. But anyway, so I have normal grenades ready here. So he'll be grabbing the weapon. I'll be grabbing the weapon in case he will shoot the invisible hunter. Yeah. Okay. One of mine spawned already. The 6th one there. So I hear ding 1, 2, 3. Because one is already dead. 4, 13 dead. We go here. Shotgun the head. Died. 1, 2, 3. So one small hunter, one invisible, and that one will spawn. Small one invisible. Ah, damn it. Ooh, you finished it off. Nice. So you saw that? After he was done with his enemies, he aimed to the left to finish off my enemy, because I just couldn't finish him in time. So that was pretty clean. But yeah, that was pretty lucky as well, honestly. Very nice so far, technically. What's weird about this game is, like, for example, this is a great run so far, and we feel like it's a great run sometimes, and we get like 745, and sometimes we get like the feeling, this won't be good, and we get a 735. So yeah, the feel of a run can be very different from the outcome, which is weird for me sometimes. So since we have good connection, we're not shooting a shock grenade here. Nice. He'll be going to the left since he's first. He's shooting the the pulse grenade here. I'm close to him, so we will ignore the dog. We are close enough. I'll just say go on ahead to be sure. I'll hide here in the corner in case the dog wants to come at me. If you stand here, there is a bigger chance that the dog will come to you. I explained this in the analysis. I'm actually surprised the run is going this well so far. Yeah, kill that one. Stand around here and see it's spawning late at the moment. what these two are. So the small one isn't spawning yet. There it is. 14 dead with that guy, so we know the small fucker on the other side is dead. Glitch happened. Nothing we can do about it. So I think if I didn't use my sledgehammer there, it would have still died. But if you want to be 100% consistent, use it. So, okay. Voila. So if I didn't use my sledgehammer there, I don't think it would have died, I'm not sure. But if you want to be consistent, just both use your shotgun at about the same time and it will die. But its positioning was very good, so we got a lot of damage in. 1, 2, 3, shotgun. Yeah. As long as one of us throw this BOW grenade, it's fine. Yeah, got it. Yeah, it died. BOW. Nice. Shoot. Oh, I'm not sure if that will finish it. It will. Nice. There. Okay. Good. Yeah, I just focused on the dog there. You couldn't finish off the hunter within one shot, but sometimes I'm able to help him. Nice. Oh, I'm actually doing very well for this showcase. Holy fuck. Will it work? Yes, it will. So, as you can see, Zerasian stands a little more to the right. I usually stand in the middle more. So, as you can see, the trick is not that precise to pull off, but a lot of people with Quint seem to struggle with it. So there is a lot of nuance to it, I guess. Okay, I hit the coin because I'm Raymond. Okay, let's see what time it will be. I'm actually curious here. Oh, pretty good. See, 743, that's a pretty good round. If this was, for example, with a Japanese, this would probably be like 755, maybe 752-ish. But yeah, other days this would have been like 735 if one of our trifectas was better, I guess. But this was a good showcase run. Enjoy. Second showcase run as guest together with Serasian. I will be using my Python Sonic Assist Plus with Distant Hit 3 and damage 6 to simulate the feel of a serpent and to show you that it is very strong and usable. Serasian will be using a 3 rare finder serpent. So yeah, let's do it. Weapon finders don't really help you get legendary weapons like a serpent. It just doesn't. So yeah, that nice. Wow, like the fire rate is 2.0 instead of 215. And I can feel the difference already within one shot. It's slightly different. it's a pretty weird feeling, honestly. But again, shotgun ready. I know it will be there. See, I will do a shock grenade this time just to show you. Well, it was positioned here, so it didn't do anything. But sometimes the ooze will be more to the left. But you can use the shock grenade there. Nice, one shot. So I can even reload here. I will still be in time. So I had more than enough time to shoot my remaining 18 ammunition. See, he missed the last shot in kitchen, but doesn't matter. That will happen a lot. That's probably one of the hardest shots for Quint to make, even with a serpent. unless you're fully geared up in damage parts. So some shots are really precise. Whoa. See, I forgot to shoot the shock grenade. Be sure to shoot the shock grenade. Okay, normal grenades ready, don't forget that. Oh, voila. Like, the slightly slower fire rate actually has a small advantage because your burst takes like teeny tiny bit longer to shoot. And actually, for example, in casino and tech, that can be useful for stuff. 14 are dead. Yep, perfect. So when I throw that last grenade, I always check if it's killed. But hold up. So I always look, goes it from 12 to 13 or from 13 to 14, depending on which I kill first. And if it doesn't, I know my partner will finish it off with a normal grenade. Otherwise, if he doesn't, yeah, we'll lose a few seconds for sure. So I should have said go on ahead here, but I didn't, but he activated it anyway. Oh well. Again, this is my first try, no resets whatsoever, only when we got B, so this is really a first impression after a year. So I think this really shows off well, that a Python is good enough. So one of mine is killed, 1, 2, 3, I know one will spawn there, 4, voila. Like, if you're slow, stay on the other side, but I was more than fast enough. Didn't get the weapon case, oh well, doesn't happen that often. See, I lost count because of my tracking, but of my English is not my first language, and live commentary while trying to play well is hard on me. Okay, so alternative, what you can do here is lower your ammo to 19 for that first shot. I didn't do that in my Serpent showcase here, but you can. It's like a small preference you can do. So if you go to my YouTube channel and go to the playlists, I try to organize it a bit to speedruns, getting legendary weapons, trinities, guide sections. So if you just want more examples like this, you could also watch my streams, but then you would have to find, good streams where I play with Serpent, for example, or Otso, or Philly's Flooring, or other Japanese players. There are hundreds of examples for me alone, and in the comments of this guide, I will definitely put a lot of Japanese channels as well, like the world record holders, where I learned my strategies from. So this is just 2 example runs with live commentary. So I was first again, I'm letting him go first. Happens sometimes, not sure why, but most of the time host will. He killed the 2, so 1, whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 14 are killed after him, so good. I'll wait. Oh wow. See, it clipped into the wall. That happens sometimes. Nothing you can do about it. That actually doesn't happen that much, but they usually get out after a while. If it really takes too long, you just killed someone on upstairs. But I'm leaving that in. This is going into the video. This run will be the one. Unless that goes horribly wrong. But if you're seeing this, it isn't so. Deck, I'm going to the left here. Yep, yep, yep. So he walked up to it. When the last blob explodes, the wave will instantly end and you won't be hit. Oh, nice, we got that. BOW. Oh, I'm not sure if I will kill that. Oh, I will. Wow. I'm actually surprised. These showcase runs are so good first try, bro. Fuck. Nice. Yep. So I'll stand here on H, aim here, and I just throw 2. 1, 2, I go to the coin. I shoot once and will hit the coin. Well, hopefully it dies with a one shot. It is. Nice. Here if you want 20,000 coins, or 12,000. See, well, decent enough for a showcase. So yeah, good luck. Welcome to B Pattern Showcase. I won't be doing an analysis because I don't really care, but first room, same thing. Shoot on the wall, and then just run to the door and just do it here on the door. And so that's a small difference here. Then shoot a pulse grenade on this wall here. So same as an A, but now you just keep running until you see one enemy in front of you. One, shoot shock grenade. Down to 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including one there and one there will spawn, so I lost count, fuck me. So those two still not spawn. One there spawn. One will come out of the black hole there. No. Now it's 2 left. That shouldn't do it. Yep. So that's why I always stand in that corner so I can look at, you know, the black shaft thing and the one who's in the corner, because those two are usually pretty annoying when you stand at the entrance. Activate the elevator first, then kill the fish. So the casino in B is easier, so a lot of them are more consistent and faster with it. For Kimkan, for example, he's Japanese. Okay, so same thing, right before I enter, I say go on ahead, and there we go. He's a cool guy. I think he has more played hours than me, but he keeps resetting his play count each time. So he only has like 900 or 800. Pretty interesting build. And he's wide name, so again, this is proof: don't judge a player by his color. Okay, so we are not splitting up the room in B, but one of us always goes to the middle of the room pretty much instantly to kill a big strong hunter that will hide behind that that corner right there, but Kimken will kill it. I in return kill this one and a strong hunter that will spawn close to me. So there is a structure in the chaos, but I'm not experienced enough to, or care enough to explain it. Let's finish that off. There it is. There it is. Two more. Oh. So, pulse grenade ready for the cabins. Shoot a pulse on this guy, so that's stunned. We ignore everything like an A, we don't kill anything. Don't worry, ignore this one, it won't hit you or your partner. First one through the store goes to the left, same as an A. Okay. He was not close enough. There we go. So he says go. Ike means go in Japanese. So it's always nice when their partner says go, so you know when you can activate the elevator. Okay. Quint usually kills these three. 1, 2, 3. Then your partner stays here a little, just to help a bit, and then he goes into positioning himself. There we go. There we go, and we move on. Again, I won't be doing an analysis on B, I just don't care. This just shows off the strategy. So if you can't be bothered to reset for A, just do B with high capacity bursts as well. Like, sometimes I even get like 750s with B. If the connection is good, so it's still pretty much worth it. Then go here and use your piercing to kill off the remaining stuff. Within one shot, nice. I only focus on the strong fucker here. Run to the light and shotgun. I still utilize the boss trick with shock grenades. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Kill those off. So we're killing them diagonal. Look at this. I'm gonna kill the dog, the hunter in the middle, that I didn't finish off unfortunately, but my partner did, thank you. That can be done in one shot. And then kill the Rachels to your left. Wow, bad aiming. Do this in one shot, not in two like me. Bam. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, aim at the middle, not like an A. Just do the middle. Then again, shoot two in the middle. There we go. If you aim like here, like at an A pattern, it won't work. Because the fishes spawn slightly different, so. And we grab the two weapon cases. So this run was about average, not too bad. Let's see what the time is. Yeah, 8:19. He's from Japan. Generally, me and Kimken don't get great times just because of the factors that I explained earlier in the guide. Sometimes we get 8:05, sometimes we get 8:40s. So 8:20 is for our connection and where we live, about average. So yeah, I think it's still better than 9 minutes flat if you're competing for like treasure hunt or something. So definitely try to utilize the speedrun methods even in B. No good drops. Alright, good luck lads.
どこですかここは。俺の邪魔だけはするな。悪いな、悪いな。ありがとう。悪いな。待て。悪いな。ありがとう。 先行してください。待て待て行け。
ありがと
う。悪いな。 悪いな。
考えるな、感じろ。
完璧だ。
Merci. J'ai calculé nos chances de survivre à cette mission.
Donne-moi 5 minutes, c'est tout.
passe devant. Pense pas, ressens.
Parfait.
悪いな。
私の計算によるとこの作戦の生存確率は俺の邪魔だけはするな。
ありがとう。ありがとう。悪いな。ありがとう。悪いな。ありがとう。悪いな。先行してください。ありがとう。悪いな。 ありがとう。
悪いな。
ありがとう。ありがとう。ありがとう。
悪いな。
ありがとう。
悪いな。
来てください。ありがとう。
悪いな。
ありがとう。ありがとう。
悪いな。 ありがとう。考えるな、感じろ。完璧だ。
Speedrun collection of other categories. As I said before, 7 weapon case speedrunning, mostly in Pattern A, is a great starting point to learn how to speedrun and by far the most popular category. But as I also mentioned earlier, there are many different categories to speedrun. I'll try to go over the most notable ones in Ghost Ship Chaos. So this will only include the Ghost Ship Chaos world records, not talking about Trench, Abyss, or Chasm, or the normal Ghost Ship. So there are a lot more categories that I just won't go into. I'll try to include the world record, to my knowledge, as of the date 17th of March 2024. All the videos can be found back in the description or my playlists on my YouTube channel. It will be very clear where to find it. The first one is 7 weapon case speedrunning in co-op. So Ghost Ship Chaos Pattern A, the ones I analyzed in this run. The world record is absolutely insane, is 7 minutes 24 seconds by Victory Beautiful and Wei Shin. Victory Beautiful is at the moment very active and I consider him at the moment the best active Japanese speedrunner in the entire game. He will come back in a bit as well because he holds multiple world records, and Wei Shin is a veteran in the game. He is very talented. My personal best is, as you saw earlier with my Quint analysis, 7 minutes 32 seconds, which is an EU world record, which is also nice to have, but although not very prestigious because there isn't any competition. All videos can be found in the description. The second one is 7 weapon case speedrunning in B. Again, I never really cared for B, but then you suddenly go to a certain YouTube channel of Yochiko25, which has been one of the fastest speedrunners for years until Victory Beautiful came around, in my opinion. But he suddenly uploads a 7 minutes 31 run with Black Nyanko. I never seen Black Nyanko before, but he shows up in like 2 world records, so I don't know anything about him. Be sure to check that video out. It's an interesting watch for sure. Link can be found in the description. 7 weapon case speedrunning solo, Pattern A, with 9 weapon finders. This record actually got smashed during the making of this video. So the current world record is 8 minutes 22 seconds by Victory Beautiful. And watching this video, this can be improved probably to around, if you really push it, 8 minutes 17 seconds or something like that. The old world record has been 8:27 by Overkill 410 for like over a year now. I consider Overkill 410 one of the best and most versatile players in the game. He plays casual, he speedruns whoever he is with at that moment. He also has the most hours played on ResidentEvil.net. Just go to his channel, he has some interesting videos to say the least. My personal best, honestly, I just never really tried it. I have to get into it more. I think I got something around 840. Then Ghost Ship Chaos solo time attack with no weapon finders. So in this category we skip all the weapon cases and just want to beat Ghost Norman as fast as you can. My personal best is 8 minutes 9 seconds. This run I still consider my most prestigious run to date. It's the third fastest run I can find on YouTube. Only the world record holder of 7:59, which is absolutely nuts. And one other guy who got 8 minutes 05. All these videos can be found in the description below. It's a very interesting watch. Ghost Ship Chaos, time attack, skipping weapon cases, but with 2 players. In this category, both players use a lightweight shotgun, with both using one rocket launcher to do the deck more quickly. And they skip all the weapon cases, as I said before. The world record is, I believe, 7 minutes 7 seconds, but at the making of this video I couldn't find it. If I find it, I'll add it to the playlist or the description. But I found a 7 minutes 8 seconds run. So it's an interesting watch. I never really got into it because there just aren't many players around to play it with, and with the Japanese it's hard without communication. So I definitely want to try this more if I had a partner. Then the solo Ghost Ship Chaos Trinity bonus. So yes, where we kill all 437 enemies. The world record is nuts. It's insane, and nobody comes even close. I need to practice a lot more before I could even dream of coming near the world record. The current world record is 23 minutes and 56 seconds. If you try it for yourself, you will realize how utterly nuts that time is. This will probably be one of the harder ones to beat together with his 7:59. My personal best is 26:24 without getting hit. With getting hit, it's like high 25 minutes. At my current strategies, if I utilize those perfectly, I could maybe reach high 24 minutes, but below 24 minutes is out of the question for me at this moment. It's just nuts. You wouldn't even realize how utterly nuts that is. Runs can be found in the description. Okay, the last one is the duo Ghost Ship Chaos Trinity bonus. The current world record is 18 minutes 19 seconds, and my current best with Serration is 20 minutes and 10 seconds. Honestly, me and Serration only pretty much tried for like around 3 hours, and we got this time only 2 minutes away. I see this category definitely beatable. I just need a partner who has enough time and the skill to do it, and he needs to be from Europe because, yeah, otherwise it won't work. Yeah. Thank you for watching my video series, guys. It's been a long process for me. I never expected it to be this long, to be fair. It was fun making it, but I'll probably never do this again. It's a lot of work. And honestly, some parts were just not fun. Rewatching every angle 5 times. I never expected to be the last video part to be 4 hours long, the comprehensive edition at least. I really hope you enjoyed. If there are any questions, feel free to ask in the description. If you are on the PlayStation, feel free to message me. I'm really open to speedrun. But just know, please don't abuse me for your Gluttony 5 or your Stars 2, because I will just flat out refuse. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.